Hey, how's it going, everybody? What's up? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to talk about, you guessed it, the wipe. So there has been an awful lot of conversation recently about the wipe. Everybody thinks that, this cash event was going to unlock the wipe, and, tomorrow, May 4th, is potentially when the wipe is going to come. And now there's other evidence that suggests that maybe the wipe is coming on May 12th, because of some dates that we've seen on some of the posts from BSG. Now, I will say, first and foremost, for me, I love wipes. Wipes are some of my favorite times to play EFT. I get people coming into my stream, they're like, hey, what are you going to do, Mr. Chad, when all your gear is gone and your levels reset? Well, to me, personally, I can't speak for any other streamers, but I could really care less about all the stuff in my stash, my guns, my gear. I don't care. I love when all of that stuff gets wiped and we have to regrind, redo all our quests, re-unlock everything, make all our money again, collect all our keys again, and, get all the cases for your stash and, get all your, your docs cases, your key bars and all that stuff. So when you actually find something in raid, it's exciting again because you actually need it. At this point in the wipe, I don't really care about any of that stuff. Yeah, I open Mark Room, find an injector case. Oh boy, another 1,000,000 rubles. What am I going to do with that? I have so much money in gear right now that even if the game didn't wipe for another couple of months, I would just be able to self-sustain with all the crap that I have now, even if I barely made any money. As far as the Kappa container being removed from my account, I don't even really use it anyway. I keep the top 3 slots open. I put stuff I find in raid in there. I don't really use it because the injector case basically made the Kappa container completely pointless, because when I would unlock the Kappa container before, all I would use those extra slots for were some extra stims. So to me, I don't really care if the game wipes. In fact, I would much prefer if it did. However, I don't think Tarkov is going to wipe anytime soon, and I will explain to you why real quick. So first and foremost, this event was about siphoning money out of the community and hopefully getting everybody to donate a bunch of their hard-earned money to the cause so that we could potentially, unlock the next event or whatever. I think that this event was done to get all of the Chads to burn all their money, so they had to rebuild and somewhat prolong the current stage of the wipe. Okay, I don't know what our next event is going to be. We haven't found out yet, but I have a sneaking suspicion that it is going to come out tomorrow, the next event, that is, and they're going to tell us what we're going to have to do or what the event is going to be. So for anybody that missed the last event, it was pretty much all the traders were removed, and so was the flea market. And when certain milestones of money were made by the community, it would start unlocking bits and pieces, like a new trader or, unlocking the flea market. And then once you had all of that, all the traders came back. So overall, we as a community within like 5 days donated 1.5 trillion rubles. Yes, trillion rubles. That is a lot of money, and ended up getting everything unlocked again. Now, in previous years before the wipe, we would always have pre-wipe events, raiders spawning on certain maps, all of the gear being cheap, all of the stocks being unlimited at the traders. I know those are kind of the main ones, or like, bosses spawning on, specific maps that they're not supposed to spawn on and stuff like that. We'd always get like really cool and fun events like that for me personally, I never really like those events. That's usually when I don't really play Tarkov very much, because I'm kind of into the vanilla game. And don't get me wrong, these events are cool, but they're not really for me. So I'm not really excited about those when they come around, but I know a lot of people have fun with them. And obviously, if you're a new player and then all of a sudden all of your traders are maxed out and you can use all the gear, it's really fun for you guys because you get to experience all of that and try out all that gear for, I don't know, what, like a week or so? These events usually last, sometimes longer. So far, we've only had pretty much this one event. I think that if the wipe was coming soon, we wouldn't have gotten this donate all the money and, all the traders would be locked. I think there's going to be much more events that are going to lead up to it. The main thing for me as to why I don't think the game is wiping is because I just don't think the content is ready yet. Because when wipes come around, ESG do them, for a purpose. When there is a wipe, there is a major update coming to the game. So last time we got a wipe, it was Lighthouse. If the game does wipe in the next couple of days, you guys can be pretty much guaranteed that we will get the trader on Lighthouse. Now, do I think that just adding the trader to Lighthouse warrants a wipe? I don't think so. I think what's going to happen is we're going to get the trader on Lighthouse, but the game isn't going to wipe, so that BSG can maybe test it, collect some information on it. And then further down along the line, when they have the full Lighthouse map ready to go, and when they also maybe have a portion of Streets of Tarkov ready to go, that is when they're going to wipe the game. Also, recently, we did just get the Chiappa Rhino in the game, which is, you know, a cool little revolver. But one other thing that I was thinking about too is that I'm almost willing to bet money on this, that we're probably going to get, like, I would say 10 new guns. If the wipe is coming soon, I reckon we're going to get like a bunch of new guns. And another thing as well, if the game does wipe soon, that would also mean that they would have to have the whole quest line ready for the Lighthouse trader, because that trader is absolutely going to have a quest line. There's no way that he isn't going to. So if you think about the time that they've had and the time that we've been into this current wipe, where it's only been like, I don't know, I want to say 5 months. I just don't think that all that content is ready. Somebody in chat said there, 10 is a bit overkill, don't you think? Well, if you think about all the guns that have been teased compared to all of the guns that have been released so far, I'm pretty sure we're looking at, give or take, maybe 10 or so guns that are going to be added, because we've had the AUG be leaked. We've had the Desert Eagle be leaked. They've also talked about the 45 Magnum. The other day, they posted pictures on Twitter of like the Barrett 50 cal and a couple of other guns. So give or take, probably about 10 rifles. Now, maybe they're not going to add all of that in when the wipe comes, but I'm feeling like BSG wants to do a big patch for this, and they want to bring a lot of attention back to the game, because at the moment we're kind of in that lull period where people are moving on, they're playing other things, and the player base isn't quite what it used to be for EFT. But this is just the natural cycle of the game. Big updates come, big spike in players, big spike of players for, you know, a couple of months, and then it kind of starts to go down again until we get another big piece of content. So I have a feeling that this event is pretty much just put here to keep people occupied for a while, get people hyped about the game, and get people talking about the game, and get some community interest back into Escape from Tarkov. I don't think that the first part of the Lighthouse expansion that we're going to get, presumably, I would guess within the next month, I don't think it's going to come with a wipe. I think we're going to get the Lighthouse trader and maybe like another gun or something, but he's going to have his quest line as well, I'd say. But I do not think they're going to wipe the game. I would be very, very surprised, because one, I don't think enough time has passed, and two, I don't think they've had enough time to finish off the content, because even on the previous podcast with Nikita, he was saying that, you know, a lot of the stuff they have is ready, but it's not, you know, ready enough to be pushed to the live servers. And that podcast was only like, I don't know, maybe a month ago or so. We also just got DLSS. There's obviously still some like problems with that need to be ironed out, and they obviously have to work on getting that fixed and ready for everybody to use correctly. And that's probably taking up a pretty decent amount of their time, because a lot of people are really excited for DLSS. And then when we got it, it was a little bit of a letdown. I have heard reports that people with like lower end machines are definitely getting much better performance out of it, but I think there's a lot of work that still needs to be done on DLSS. And now we're going to talk about the elephant in the room, Streets of Tarkov. So we have found out recently that Streets of Tarkov is going to be released in many, many, many parts. And I think that when they wipe the game the next time, we're pretty much guaranteed to get the first iteration of Streets. A small portion of the map, maybe not even with a boss, but just the map itself with the buildings and the loot, and maybe some more unique mechanics for the map, maybe some new types of keys and key cards. And it's also been theorized that Streets of Tarkov map is going to contain not only key cards, but they're also going to have code locks, to where the code locks are going to change every raid, and there's going to be a sequence of things that you might have to do in order to get the code to go and loot those rooms, so that you might not even have to have keys for them, but you will have to do some investigating in order to figure out what the code for those specific locked rooms are. Now, that is just speculation, but it's speculation backed by evidence based on some things that Nikita has said in the past, and also based on some screenshots that we have of the map where there's actual numpads outside the rooms with seemingly nothing to put a key in or nothing to swipe a card on. So I think they still have to get all of these mechanics ready. I would be surprised if it was all ready by now. I think that we're not going to get a wipe, and I feel pretty strongly about that. I've absolutely been wrong in the past, so maybe I'll be wrong this time too. So just to summarize, I think that we are going to get Lighthouse expansion that has the trader. I don't think it's going to wipe. And then I think sometime within the next 2 or 3 months, we're going to get the wipe with the first part of Streets of Tarkov. That's pretty much what I think. I hate to be that guy. I don't like, you know, And it's not that like, you know, I'm shitting on other people's ideas or other people's hopes and stuff, but I'm just kind of looking at it from a different angle, because a lot of other creators seem to be thinking that this is going to be a wipe. It's going to be a massive update. And I just don't think that enough time has passed, and I just don't think that the content is ready. And this is just my opinion. Now, not to say, you know, I don't want to wipe. I do want to wipe. I would love that. I would love for the first parts of Streets to come out within the next, you know, 10 days, because people are now thinking the wipe might be on the 12th. I don't know. I would love to be surprised and have all that stuff show up and I'd be completely wrong. But that is at least my current thought process on it. So, lads, hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, please make sure to leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe. I would very much appreciate it. Let me know when you guys think the wipe is, what you guys want to see with the wipe. And I will see you guys on the next video. Peace out, my dudes.